What are your views on the changing scene of education itself in this country?
Sights are set at the top level of education, and we are ignoring what comes below. I would much rather that instead of Mr. Sippel going on talking about universities of innovation, centers of excellence, Ivy League universities, foreign universities, and it's traumatic for them. They don't know what to do because the whole schooling is based on mugging and getting marks. And if you get 98% and then you enter a system where if you go into a good university, they say, now we're going to teach you how to think. And the poor student says, what's that? This is new to me. I've never been taught how to think. So I think that three things are essential. Primary school, secondary school, and thirdly, all this money that's going into new central universities, universities of excellence and so on, should go into equipping libraries and laboratories. Because that is the big drawback.
How do you like to comment on it that we don't have a tradition of writing history in the concerning of the Puranas and the Itihas?
Well, there was a tradition of historical writing. There was certainly a tradition. There were certainly historical traditions, and then some of those traditions take the form of historical writing. I treat it in two ways. One is what I call embedded history, which is elements of historical information that are embedded in ritual texts. Like you have the Rigveda, which has these hymns, hero songs. You have the epics, which are again clan societies, heroic societies, but tied into ritual. And you have the Purans, which are essentially religious sectarian texts, but there is one chapter, for example, in the Vishnu Puran, which is straightforward genealogical descent, dynastic descent, and that kind of thing, which goes into the making of history. Subsequent to this, you get things like historical biographies, you get chronicles. The Raj and the Rangini, written in the 12th century, is a superb example of a chronicle, but there are others like that too. And you have lengthy inscriptions which give the history of kings and dynasties. So to say that Indian civilization lacked a sense of history is something that was started by colonial scholarship, and we should really think twice before we say it.
Have you, in any situation, felt pain about what is happening around you? Felt powerless against something that's happening? I'm not able to do anything.
I feel very powerless to make a change, and so I'm constantly joining signature campaigns and writing articles in the papers and that kind of thing, to no effect. Anyway, I'm doing it because I think that it is very important. 2 generations down the line, I do not want my descendants to say, oh, their generation kept quiet. They didn't object. So I'm very insistent that whether there is any, whether people in power take us seriously or not, we must object, we must make our statements. I think that's absolutely crucial.
Ma'am, one question. As a research scholar, I want to know the using of the jargons, like different ism, how far is useful for us, and how can we follow it or not?
Well, one of the problems with isms is that they claim to be ways, methods of understanding knowledge. So, if someone comes up and says, postmodernism is an explanation of how you approach knowledge or texts or whatever it may be, it is your business to try and understand what postmodernism is saying. The next step is that you then decide whether that is really what you would like to apply to the knowledge that you're working on or not. That choice is yours. So understanding the ism is very important, but choosing to use it or not to use it is your decision and should be based on analyzing the texts and the subjects that you're working on and understanding what the ism is all about.
Thank you.